The past never dies. You will reap everything you've sown! Come and dance with me in hell, won't you? Well, speak up, Dad!
Fire can be such a beautiful thing. It can warm you, it can illuminate, but it can also burn you, even scar you, destroying everything in its path. Zuko and Dabi were both raised in fire, both burned by fathers obsessed with power, both desperate to prove that they're worthy of recognition, of love. But while one found redemption, the other became consumed in the very fire that burned him. If they started off in the same heat, why didn't they burn the same way? Zuko, growing up, was always trying to prove that he was enough. He wasn't the most naturally gifted firebender. He wasn't a prodigy like Azula was, but he tried, and that was something that his mother saw in him, so she decided to encourage him. Ozai didn't. When Zuko spoke out of turn during the war meeting for the Fire Nation, he was trying to prevent soldiers from being sacrificed. Ozai didn't respond with guidance, he responded with humiliation. Not just a physical scar, but a message. Stay in your place, boy.
You will fight for your honor.
I meant you no disrespect. I am your loyal son.
Rise and fight, Prince Zuko.
Zuko was banished and forced to chase the Avatar, which was damn near an impossible goal to achieve. Just to be given something that his father never really had for him. Honor. Respect. He never respected Zuko. And Zuko trying to find himself and achieve this goal led him down a path of conflict and turmoil within himself.
Come on, answer the question. Come on, answer it.
I'm angry at myself!
Why?
Because I'm confused.
Zuko's anger wasn't just outward, it was inward as well. He was always questioning himself. Am I enough? Why can't I live up to Azula? Why can't I get the approval of my father? It wasn't just the pursuit of the Avatar that was so important. On the surface, it looks like he just wanted his honor, but in reality, he wanted the validation. He wanted to be seen.
I'm ashamed of what I did. I don't know how I can ever make it up to you, but
Toya Todoroki's story was a little different. Endeavor didn't initially reject him. He invested in him. He trained him, encouraged him. He lifted him up as the heir to his legacy. Toya wasn't ignored. He was chosen. He was supposed to be the one who carried Endeavor's dream forward. Until he couldn't.
He's physically built to tolerate freezing temperatures far better than heat.
Toya, I thought you would exceed All Might. With flames more powerful than mine, you should have been the best. How did this happen?
When Toya's flame proved self-destructive and doctors warned that he could seriously injure himself if he continued, Endeavor didn't adapt. He withdrew. Not gradually, not gently, he shifted his focus completely to the next child that may fulfill his ambition. To Toya, that felt like erasure. One moment he was the future, the next he was nothing but a mistake. And that kind of emotional whiplash cuts deep. Toya didn't feel like he failed, he felt destroyed. He felt replaced, so he decided to train harder, push himself even further, burning himself to the point where he felt like he was worthy again, until eventually everything was gone. His body, his childhood, and even his identity. Nothing was left. All in all, Zuko was fighting rejection. Dabi was reacting to abandonment, and those are two different wounds. Trauma may spark the fire, but the environment is really what determines how long it burns. Zuko had Iroh, someone who didn't humiliate him, someone who didn't measure him against anyone else's legacy, someone who saw who he could become, not just who he was failing to be. And even though Zuko made selfish choices, Iroh still challenged him. He forced reflection within Zuko, made Zuko question himself. And eventually, Zuko was surrounded by people who didn't need him to prove anything. Aang, Katara, Sokka, and even Toph. They didn't trust him at first, of course, but they gave him a chance. And Zuko was then surrounded by people who saw who he could become. Dabi wasn't. After surviving the fire, Toya woke up alone, scared, scarred, abandoned, and all he wanted to understand was what happened to him, to understand why his father abandoned him and left him the way that he was. Eventually, he aligned himself with the League of Villains, believing that maybe they could help him make sense of all this anger that he has inside of him and rectify what really happened. But his hatred did not go anywhere. It grew. It was not questioned. It was validated. One for All didn't challenge his anger, he weaponized it. Dabi's resentment wasn't softened, it was sharpened. Zuko had alternatives. Dabi had reinforcement. And that's the fork in the road. Having someone to lean on versus having people use you for their own ambition. Maybe that's the difference between a fire that illuminates and an inferno that consumes everything. Because even though they started off in the same heat, the fuel that kept them burning is different. And maybe that's why they didn't burn the same way.
I must find the Avatar to restore my honor.